Nah, y'all think it's Christmas time, holiday season? Nah, nigga, it's spooky season. Still, it's not even October, it's spooky season. This project here was the Conway project that I've been most excited for in the series. Has some of my favorite songs on it. It's like he does everything in his power to live up to that grimiest of all time title that he gave the album. Let's get straight into it. It's getting real spooky real early.
Click clack in this big ratchet. I clap his six pack. I heard his ribs crack and splash the wall with wig fragments, kidnappings.
That's a fire flow to open up the song. That imagery is gory too.
I had my op run down on you with the carbon out. Hoodie on, big beard, shooting like James Harden out. Whip it, let the heart sit out.
That's tough. Y'all remember a couple years ago they had all the viral videos of all the NBA stars hooping in the summertime with the hoodie on. And then I don't know if he did this intentionally, but he said he'd have his op run down on you, which I think that's what Muslims call each other. It's some kind of Arabic or Muslim thing. And so that play into he had a long beard imagery.
Yes, nigga. Free my little nigga doing all that time. He's 17. When he come home, he'll be 49.
It's a lot of time.
Gone bad.
Well, that'll do it.
Killed, nigga probably gone mad. Got the mic. I be with 16-year-old cycle.
The little radar sounds are crazy.
Snipe you twice, your life is over. My razor breaking, chopping white and boulder. Snatch your life from Whitey Boulder.
It's a 4-syllable rhyme scheme.
White and ice to roll up.
Come on, man. Hey, if you gonna call yourself the grimiest of all time, this how you prove it in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That's like theme music to a serial killing. The beat was like way too spooky. It was slow, methodical. It felt like the villain of a horror movie was walking towards you. And I think Conway found the perfect pocket to rap over such a slower beat. Those flows he got into, especially the first flow that he started the album on, I was tough. All the bars were gritty, just violent imagery on top of violent imagery. That song is fire. This is Trump.
Run down on him.
Cool chorus.
I got him and his homies in your bushes now. Sniffing grams to stay up so he can put you down. Homemade ski mask on, pull it down. Silencer on and neighbors couldn't hear a bullet sound. We got the drop on you and you ain't even know.
That's a grimy verse. One of the best technical rapping.
Everywhere you go. Smoking one with my young boy while I plot to get you. Tried to give him the 40. He said he wanna pop the stick too. Every night is gunfire, guns fire, shooting till my gun tired.
Alright, I like this flow.
Back in jail, made us killers, pussy nigga. Come try us. Now I know where you been hiding, so we gon' come find you, my nigga. We got the drop on you and you
he picked it up right there.
Hey, yo, these weird niggas, yo, they scared right now.
I would be too.
You know what I mean? Shit is spooky, nigga.
This is true. Boy, thank God rap took Conway off the streets. This man sounded like he was in the streets fighting demons. Yeah, that wasn't the craziest song from a lyrical perspective. It definitely had that spooky aesthetic. That sample was so out of the box that I rock with it, and the drums sounded good over it. Conway was using mostly 2-syllable rhyme schemes in the first verse, and they weren't too crazy. But on the second verse, he picked it back up. Had some nice little flows he got into. The rhyme scheme, he picked it up to like 3-syllable rapping for most of that second verse. The imagery is straight up brutal though. Let's get into Th3rd F. The 2 drumless beats that sounded the grittiest. Vocal sample crazy. If you cook the yay at the Fiend house, that's kind of like having a personal chef, if you think about it.
My gun game can't fuck with nigga. Break both shins, put you on crutches, nigga. Popo at the door, you better flush it, nigga. He sold 19, only your bird left.
Look, I ain't trying to make this a struggle Olympics, but being in the streets so north, that's a different level of dedication. It got under 10 degrees here in Atlanta, and I would not be outside. I don't care what the reason is, I am not outside. To fight the elements and to fight the ops, that's crazy.
I'm from the city, niggas get smoked for a half a key. Versace specs, silk shirt on, bitch, I'm Master B.
I like that. Freedom. This flow is sick right here.
Eggshell S's guest jeans on. I blow finesse-ness. Caught me in Texas with Nexus cards and stolen Lexuses.
Yo, this Lexus alliteration is sick. The nigga came out the gate spazzing.
And my guest list of gun holders who blow fellow pedestrians.
Still going.
Coke inside my jets and shit. It's fanatic, I runs the cabinet. That gun's
first time you switching up the rhymes.
I drag flips, get caught in the cross like Catholics. I hold the black slips,
get caught in the crossfire.
You dap dicks, clowns get found naked in black whips.
Paul still.
Niggas is homos and bozos and logos riding Volvos. Your clothes on, your hoes is sold.
Hey, he rhymed almost every single syllable in those last two lines of that 2-syllable Volvo scheme.
You lost your soul.
Man, going through this Griselda series, it's so dope seeing these guys get co-signed from the guys who influenced them and seeing them getting their props from those guys themselves. Like Prodigy contributed so much to their style, and MF Doom was a heavy influence for Westside Gunn, and they both got to work with those guys. Now Raekwon, who I think influenced not just Griselda, but this whole coke rap subgenre as a whole with the coke stories that he told on Cuban Links. I think he blessed Conway with a fire verse. It's crazy hearing them 20-25 years in with still elite level lyricism. I think Conway's verse was cool. It started a tad bit slow, but it steadily picked up. I do like the pacing of his verse, kind of like how I explained the beat on the song G.O.A.T. He had this slow, methodical flow that felt like the villain of a horror movie coming after you. That beat was pretty crazy with that vocal sample. Let's get into Die on Xmas. Violence might be the spookiest instrument to use. The little sense of the harmony is spooky too.
History repeat from past to present. Your stomach touching your back, call for drastic measures. Reading my mail, all I had was letters. You know the phones in the jail be having bad reception. I left school.
Bro, Benny can put syllables together, man. It's a 4-syllable rhyme scheme right here. And then you know he finna come out the gate with the storytelling.
As I had math perfected, we threw bullets behind blocks like past protection. Where I'm from, mothers in the hood.
We threw bullets behind blocks because we was beefing over different blocks behind blocks. Like pass protection? Son, that's crazy.
Niggas said they show love and never added up to much. You ever went broke and start bagging up the cut? Went to jail for some work, I wasn't fast enough to flush. Had it out with some snakes over grass I didn't cut.
Syllable rhyme scheme, come on, man.
Clothes, you should try that. Oh, minus the plaques, made back in Beyonce. Nigga, I'm Sean Carter selling crack in Marcy. Niggas in my crew wanna
I love those lines. That's tough. That's tough. I'm like Jay-Z, but I'm that old Jay-Z.
If you fly, we gonna make sure your casket flossy. Every day I take chances that
like
put
that.
me in a prison. I'm like Colonel Sanders, got the hookup for a chicken.
That line's fire. That hookup for the chicken is fire.
I was still thankful, stayed true to myself. Never ask another man what you could do for yourself. I know gangsters respect gangsters. Chains, Rolex bracelets, keep playing. We turn rappers Cubans to neck braces.
My introduction to Griselda was Tana Talk 3. So all these older verses from Benny, I heard after the fact. And I wasn't there, but I feel like the way that he was spazzing on features like this, you had to see Tana Talk 3 coming. But that was a sick verse. That pass protection bar, that was it. Then the gritty storytelling, the syllables. He was using 4 syllables and 5 syllables for like half the verse. Sick.
Environment with guys who buying bricks and driving big shit. A fire biscuits turn your mind to liquid. As far as rhyming, this is a giant midget. Every line exquisite.
That rhyme scheme is probably the best he's had on this project so far. He is floating.
It's an all-time dependence. So when you try and mention top 5 guys that did it, why ain't I enlisted?
He's using a 3-syllable, but he's playing with those syllables all throughout the internal part of the rhymes.
You believe in God, then you better pray with you. Look at the last 2 years.
I always be doing that anyway.
Way official. Derringer beats had me writing till I break the pencil. Whoa,
sound
I came
like
a long
it.
way from weighing crystal, blazing nickel-plated pistols through your facial tissue.
Benny got in some real intricate rhyme schemes. Now Conway getting into them. That was a 4-syllable right there, and he spit them back to back. Almost every single syllable in those last 2 lines rhymed.
Hit the lights, pull up slow, let the drum go, hop out. He hit 5 times, I gave him 1 more.
I love this storytelling right here.
Chanel bag, 55 hundo, can't be fucking the bum hoe. Aim the pump low, gut shot, where your lunch go. Hoe so big, see through your back, through your front door. Whoa, his eyes open, but he slumped though. Last thing he seen was my gun blow. Conway, bitch.
Eyes open, but he slumped. Yeah, best song on the album so far. Be just as spooky as the rest of them. Benny and Conway went off. They lost their minds on this song. Benny's punching was fire. His rhyme schemes were fire. I love the detail that he gets into when he talks about that street drug dealer life. And then Conway, same thing, but Steph the Gore. Like, you know how the albums be having that parental advisory on the front of it? That ain't enough of this album. What's the joint after rated R, like rated X or something like that? This is rated X. This is gritty. It's one brutal bar after the other from Conway. The imagery talking about he died with his eyes open. You can see a hole in his stomach, see through his back. Then he had a bunch of fire flows and really crisp rhyme schemes. That song was tough. This is Rodney Little. This is like the third project that Conway has had Rodney Little on. But I guess we finna listen to it again. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, it kind of fit the album though.
I don't think no nigga can stop me.
I should know the lyrics by now.
Right now, boys sitting, just watch me. Watch what I'm doing. Style switch before you niggas could copy. Shoot a slide through with the stick. It isn't for hockey. On my hip with a Glock.
The line
my
like
city small. Bitches I fuck, saying rest in peace to the nigga that shot me. Whoa.
Hey, you know, rap kind of crazy because like some of these niggas actually in the streets and they be rapping about people who actually died. So imagine your family member died and you got to hear these niggas in rap lyrics.
Joffrey, Joe Ferd, but I travel with a semi.
So glad I talked over that Joffrey line.
The flow rare like vintage Versace, chopper close. Can't let these niggas Biggie and pop me, no.
His rhyme scenes is fire for as much as I'm hating on this
I ain't
song.
trying to fight, but with the hands I'm Triple G, half Iron Mike. My chick waving a stick, he barely miss. Every time he see a nigga been hit, he say swish. He send me clap duck. For the
That's
niggas
funny.
that violate parole and say fuck will it, send me back up. I wanna.
They on that trap shit, I'm on that booby trap life. Come at me and you gon' step on the landmine. These niggas stay running and my niggas stay chasing.
I should have skipped this song. I don't want to say nothing bad about Prodigy.
Misreputation, ain't no fucking mystery. I'm current events, you hip hop history. Top tier rap, we second to none.
This is not top tier rap, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I'm dead serious. This is like the third project that Conway's had this song on. I guess he's just gonna keep throwing it on everything like Black People and Lowry's. The song's actually pretty good. The song really just got one flaw, and that's Prodigy. I done ducked around, slipped and slide around the fact that Prodigy's verse wasn't good 2 prior times. If you want to hear me say something good about this song, go to my Hell Still on Earth reaction. All right, Prodigy's one of the greatest of all time. R.I.P. to him. That verse wasn't it. He just didn't progress his bars. He was saying way too much basic stuff. He started the verse off with some pretty good rhyme schemes, but then it tailed off. Like the "You from the trap, I'm from the booby trap." Come on, man. I can only pretend so much. But R.I.P. absolute legend. I think if he was still here, he would have evolved his style to fit the new school. But that's that. Had to get off my chest. Conway's verse was pretty good. He had a couple of light lines, but his flows were good. I love that beat too. And I think overall it's really dope that Conway got this cosign from Prodigy. Out of everyone who influenced this Griselda style, and specifically Conway himself, I think Prodigy has to be the biggest influence. At least the biggest originator. So I like that this song happened. I don't love the song. This is Extras. They've had a few Middle Eastern influence samples on this album. I think it was intentional with the Bin Laden cover. I think that's a pretty cool touch.
For them niggas cutting up a bird bag in a brick, ratchet on hit, that'll put a shit bag on you quick.
Conway, come on, bro. Warm up a little bit. You ain't gotta hit us like that out the gate. That's a tough rhyme scheme.
Fuck niggas, get your door kicked. Mattresses flip, savages snatch you up, smack you with the back of the fifth.
Snatch you up, smack you back of the field. The snatch, smack. He's using that first syllable of the 4-syllable rhymes that he's using. That's some intricate rhyming.
My dog started out 12-12. Now he whipping a split in the mail jar, Hellman's.
I like how he specified that it was Hellman's. No Miracle Whip over here.
Dominated the game on the level that of mics. I don't fight my shot.
The 5-syllable rhyme scheme.
Shots ejected from the pipe. Heard the AR. Shot him in his chest and said goodnight. And I catch another flight. Look.
Yo, nigga came to rap.
For some handouts. I'ma spit in your fucking palm. You stick your hand out.
Hey, no cap, that was a 2.5-minute song and a 4-minute, 40-second song body. There was no need for that thing to go on fast 3 minutes, but it was cold. I just have no idea why they needed a 2-minute outro. Kanye's been rapping Possessed since Die on Christmas. The rhymes here are super intricate. The talk is still gritty. I like this beat too. It's the brightest beat on the album so far, which it kind of ain't hard to do with how spooky everything's been up to this point. But I like the sample that went with the drums good. Rhyming was good. Let's get into Bishop Shot Still. Man, somebody check Derringer Basement. He got bodies there. Man, this beat is crazy. This beat is crying. This beat made all the other grimy beats on this project sound like lullabies. This is crazy. Matter of fact, let me pull up that sample. Like, I don't even understand how somebody would think to flip this. Bro, listen to this. This is Quintess's Bliss Trip. How do you turn a song called Bliss Trip? How do you turn sleep music into one of the grimiest beats ever? This is crazy. I think this might be Derringer's best beat he ever made.
These niggas praying for my downfall. I don't wanna be around y'all. Then they got the nerve to ask me shit like, why I don't come around more? My nigga, why would I wanna hang around the clown for? Shit hurt me. You really had a place in my heart. Now I can't stand to look you in the face. Fucking kill thousand, nigga. I'm like, damn, why you switching on me?
God dang.
I thought he was solid. Why you bitching on me? I fuck with you, nigga. I showed you love and you crossed me. Did that fuck shit, that's when you lost me. We was like brothers, nigga. Damn, where the love
I love that
go?
chorus.
You did it all.
That verse came out of here. That verse came out of here. I feel like he thinking about one particular nigga that crossed him, cause you felt that verse.
I don't fuck with no niggas, I don't trust a bitch. I've been through too much sucker shit, but that's what showing love and get. You know my moms, know my government, but so much envy in your heart, I wanna put a slug in it. I wish I learned before, huh? You can't roll up and burn no more. The handshakes ain't firm no more.
Handshake's not firm no more.
That's what I'm riding with.
Come
that
on,
burner
man.
for. I seen niggas cross their mans, I seen niggas turn before.
Man, that song right there, that's one of my favorite Conway songs, period. I absolutely love that song. This is one of the craziest beats he's rapped on, in my opinion. To even think to flip that sample is ridiculous, and those drums sounded good on it. The two verses from Conway give me the Cow vibes. Now, it's not nearly as emotional as the Cow, and the Cow was more so focused on himself, but it still had that really passionate, emphatic delivery on this song. He took a step back from his punchline braggadocio style and just put his heart on the page. I think it turned out amazing. And then him naming this song Bishop Shot Still, I think that's fire too. This is the mandatory Royce da 5'9". These keys are creepy. I like the little horn playing into it too.
Look, they hate you when you winning. I been knew I was great from the beginning. That's why real niggas relate to shit I written. Look, my dog caught a gun case and went to prison. Caught a new one on parole, got a detainer, so we sitting.
I like what Conway's doing with the rhyme scheme right here. It's essentially just a one syllable internal with a two syllable at the end of the bar. But the way that he's doing it, he's letting that one syllable sit on the same spot of every line. So it's giving the lines itself a nice cadence. It's pretty simple, but it's a good use of manipulating syllables.
Got resin from the raw flake in them. And the fork scrapes in them. It's us, XXXtras, grip the 500 Smith bar. Shit hit a building and chip the bricks up. What? Bustin' and fuck my wrist up. He snitched, fuck him, cut the nigga tongue out his mouth.
He's stepping on the rhyme scheme right here. Top verse to show.
Honest, I get the rocket launcher from Muhammad K. Pilot, straight popped it at you till you ain't conscious.
Figure out, it'll even be hard for God to figure out. I'm a godly figure out in the streets.
Yo, Royce gotta chill.
Like a Harley, nigga, I stand tall in a Harley, see a taller nigga out at all. Here it is in layman's. You don't wanna act hard, fam. I follow him on the gram, lure him to the backyard.
No opening bars are crazy. He had a nice alliteration to go with it. That was sick.
Damn, probably riding with my fire red bone. I'm on fire, her ears be burning when she ain't with me. So now she probably live long. She like the party.
I like that
pop
fire
Molly,
scheme.
lollygag. I drop bodies and party crash with Glock shotties. You know I gotta. That's what the gorillas did. I'm everything you feel you ain't. Assassinate characters like Twitter did to Azealia Banks. Fly niggas deviant.
And plenty more
Wild
since
niggas
then.
obedience. Me and my compadres in a shot a day. Looking forehead like Sade. But now I ain't no R&B nigga. It's either
The forehead and then the shotty lies hilarious. That's pretty good wordplay too.
beat it then. I ain't got no game and these bitches just understand my story. Nickel 9 and Conway the animal, boy, it's mandatory.
The crazy part about that song is that beat was pretty good. And I also think it was the worst beat on the album. It wasn't quite as dark as the rest of the songs, and the sample was a little simple. Drums sounded pretty good, but they sounded pretty similar to the other boom bap drums on this album. But none of that made it a bad beat. It's just all the other ones were so crazy, in my opinion. I like the verses that we got here. From Conway, I like that first verse a little bit more than I like the second verse. A little bit more technical with the rhymes, but Royce's verse was pretty sick. The way that he played with syllables and not just rhyming, but using alliteration and playing with just the vowel sounds, that was sick from him. His little word association where he'll say a word and then he'll do some sort of word associated with that for the next 2 or 3 lines. The features have been pretty impressive on this project. This is Arabian Sam's with Styles P.
Grimy.
He is grimy.
Grimiest of all time, nigga.
Of all time.
What's poppin', nigga? Where the drama, I want it to pop. I'm giving niggas shit bags from stomach shots, stick blast, quick fast, clip has 100 shots. Peace to them niggas that whip glass and run the block.
Him using the whip glass as the internal and then using the part of a 4-syllable at the end. Bro, I'm telling you, the intricacies in the rapping up to this point in his career, this is the best rapper from Conway.
Hood nigga, never gave a fuck about a Grammy. The real niggas that been through it, they understand me. Same niggas sending
I feel like even if you care about awards, the Grammys mean absolutely nothing. They're awful.
Y'all was spray if I okayed it. Youngin got the sword off, them niggas chopped the gauges. They not the play with no socks when the
Yo, this rhyme scheme is wild.
Over, I just sprayed them rocks.
Playing with the ox sound in the middle of the bar.
Made it, grimiest of all time when I jot the pages. That's why my fucking name ringing like the slots in Vegas. Hear me?
Yeah, these rhyme schemes are just so intricate. Up to this point in Conway's career, I thought he was good with syllables. But with him, he would mostly take one rhyme scheme and he would just use it a bunch of time over the course of like 8 bars. So he might rhyme a bar 4 times within 2 lines, but it would be the same rhyme scheme. And that's impressive, but it's another level of intricacies and it's an extra layer of complexity and difficulty when you start manipulating and have different rhyme schemes within a rhyme schemes, like what he's been doing on this entire album. I love that maturity and growth from him.
Around the way, every day on some mission shit. Line a nigga up, deep water, no fishing shit. You bait, no chance to escape, I'm in the base.
I don't like that deep water line, but I like him saying the bait line after it. Since I went so hard on Prodigy, I'm a grade Styles P on a curve.
So Conway, surely know the way of the con. Deck of cards in the Quran, like I'm waiting.
It's only so far me grading on the curve is going to take him, though. He can't say nothing else like that. Conway way of the con. I'm not finna tolerate it.
Long con, short con, I ain't playing for bronze.
Okay, here we go.
Ghosts don't pass the baton. What up?
He ended in just the right spot. I was finna go in on him. Alright, Conway put another legend over his back with that song. He definitely carried that song. His verse was crazy. I already dug in how I think Conway's displaying some of the best rhymes of his career on this song and on this project. Styles P was walking a thin line. I thought he opened up the verse good. He had some crisp rhyme schemes, and the rhyme schemes didn't go anywhere. He had some pretty crisp ones throughout. But you know how they be like, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. No, that's not applying to me. I'm talking about for Styles P. He wasn't saying nothing. And he probably should just cut that verse 8 bars in, get out, do your work, get out before you run out of stuff to say. And then he started getting into that Conway, I know the way of a con, and then all these super simple con flips. I already done said something about Prodigy, so it's open season on all the legends. Just letting everything off my chest. This is Bullet Club. We've saved the grimiest for last.
Don't play stupid, niggas. Niggas can't match what I create. Boy, I'm actually great. Homie, I used to stash cracks by the gate. The couple stacks I would make.
Sellable.
Mac on my waist. I could send a package upstate and have you stabbed in the face. Thought you was safe.
Bro, back to back with the 4-syllable rhymes. He's spitting them 2 times each line. Nigga putting on a clinic.
I'm kinda off. Wig shot, your brains fly across the street when I fire off the heat. Then I'm riding off.
This is a 3-syllable what he's going back to back with now.
Scotty OG inside of my cigar. Okay, I get it. My face is twisted, but considering my facial image, what nigga spit it the way I spit it? Think about it. I'll wait a minute.
Barring.
Fake ass niggas on your baby, your counterfeit limbs knocked off your counterparts. We're known for breaking mama hearts. Ran out of patience, debating, die for the fast flip, cruising, collecting Confederate flags to wipe my ass with, nigga.
I like that line.
My folks disappearing, my feelings broke. Threats off the wire, bugging out's my fear factor.
Bugging out's my fear factor.
The hand of
They eat
God
the
of
bugs.
vertical rear smack you.
I like this verse from Lloyd Banks. I will say his flow's been dope, but like this last rhyme scheme I thought was super fire. But then he'll have a rhyme scheme that's like cool. It ain't nothing crazy. And I think some of his rhymes got a little sloppy where they were slanted, but they were like too slanted to where they weren't really rhyming. Not the whole bar, but like out of a 3-syllable rhyme scheme, like the first 2 syllables were real slanted.
Them cruel beginnings of grim, chronic, and henny eyes, new vomit and envy cries.
Nah, he's spazzing now.
In my town, we got foul habits. 40 cow packers, hustlers pile cash and trap in a wild fashion. Till agents chase us around backwards. They know our faces, but to them, we just cases in a file cabinet.
I'm telling you, man, this rapping has been elite. Benny's had the same rhyme scheme for all those opening bars, well, for the end of the rhymes at least. But in the middle of the rhyme, he switched up the rhyme scheme twice already. I'm telling you, that's way more difficult than just taking the same rhyme scheme from start to finish.
Dollar amount stacking, I can see them numbers. Hustlers count backwards. I'm somewhere comfy in the bar section. Not cause I'm rich, cause I'm certified. I'm nothing like these cross dressers. I can't believe where the flow got us. I kept the whole profit, got it playing with rock like the Globetrotters.
Like that Globetrotter line.
But I'm still humble from them days we ate the bread with the mold round it. Had you sipping Ace, pulling up like Ace in the Beamer. But first you gotta relate to that Ace in the Cleaners.
That's tough. For one, I'm just really partial to movie references that I actually get because I missed every movie reference. But I'm talking about Ace in the Beamer versus Ace in the Cleaner. Like, he relates to having it, but he also relates to what it took to get all that's hustling. Man, that's how you close out an album. This feature list has been insane. All these names on paper are crazy, and then almost all of them really delivered. Benny already had a fire verse. He just added another one to it. His imagery, especially talking about growing up struggling, that line like saying his mama used the money for the electric bill to feed them, that was gritty. The Ace and the Cleaners line was tough. The rhyme schemes were fire. I thought he had the best verse of the song. Conway's verse was tough too. Some of the most intricate rhyming on the whole album on here, and he's been gritty from start to finish. Lloyd Banks, I got a little bit nitpicky, but that's me comparing him to how he raps current day, because I think he's improved a little bit since this verse. But even then, his braggadocio was just oozing charisma. I thought his flows were really dope, and I'd love to see him flash a few more flows like this current day. If I had to rank all of them, I'd go Benny, Conway, Lloyd, but even Lloyd's verse was really good. And overall, this album is crazy. Now, I haven't heard Conway's entire discography, but out of all the projects I've heard, I think you can put God Don't Make Mistakes and From King to a God up here. And I think you can throw GO either right under it or right there with it. This project is insane. As far as pure aesthetic, I think this perfectly recaptures that grimy feeling that he had on Reject 2. I think his current day stuff is a little bit more polished, a little bit more clean. It has that gritty heart and undertone to it, but with GO.A.T, every single element of it, from every single line, every single beat, it's just really, really dark. Rap-wise, Conway was in his bag. Just the rhyme schemes were elite, and for 90% of the album, it felt like he didn't waste a single bar. It was like every single syllable went towards painting a really savage image. If I had to give this album some criticism, I will say if you take GO.A.T, the title track, out of the picture, I will say this album started a little bit slow. That's where the rapping from Conway was the lightest. And even on those first couple of songs, G.O.A.T and 3rd F are still really good songs. But then on Die on Xmas song, the album really took off. Now, I don't care for the Prodigy feature. I could probably do without the Styles P feature as well, but every other feature was elite. Benny, Ray, Royce, and Lloyd all rap they tails off. I think out of the extremely consistent last 2/3 of the album, I think Die on Christmas and Bishop Shot Still stand slightly above the rest. I think those are some of Conway's best songs he's ever put out. And overall, this album is sick. Grimiest of all time for sure.